One of the most frustrating things that can happen during a grow is making it all the way to harvest only to end up with a low yield. And the confusing part is the plant appeared healthy the entire grow cycle. The leaves were green, there were no deficiencies, no pests, no major environmental issues. Everything appeared to be going great, yet when your plants were dry and ready to do the final weight, the yield was lower than you expected. I actually had this happen to me pretty recently. At first, I assumed it was a nutrition issue. It wasn't. The plant looked fantastic from sprout to harvest, but when the plant was dried and trimmed, the yield was nowhere near what I expected. And the reason had nothing to do with nutrients. The reality is that healthy plants don't automatically produce high yields. A plant can look great, but not swell up like you expect. So in this video, I'm going to break down 5 common reasons why your plants look healthy, but yields are lower than expected. And more importantly, what you can do about it. Let's jump in. Number 1, not enough light. The first thing I look at is light. This is probably one of the most common yield limiting factors I see. Plants can survive under less than optimal lighting and still look healthy. The leaves stay green, growth looks normal, and there may not be any obvious signs that something is wrong. But yield is driven by energy, and that energy comes from light. I've seen growers spend a lot of time focusing on nutrients while completely overlooking whether the plants are actually receiving enough light. The good news is that this is usually pretty easy to improve. If you don't have a par meter or a way to measure par, start by checking the manufacturer's recommended hanging height for your fixture. Most grow lights come with recommended hanging distances for seedlings, veg, and flower. Are those recommendations perfect? Not always, but it's a good starting point. If possible, use a par meter or even a par meter app to get a better idea of how much light your plants are actually receiving. Also, make sure your light is covering the entire canopy evenly. Sometimes the center of the canopy receives plenty of light while the outer edges are underlit. Small improvements in light intensity and light distribution can have a surprisingly large impact on yields. Quick favor, if you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button. It helps the channel more than you might think. Number 2, root zone issues. The next thing I consider is what's happening below the soil surface. Most growers spend their time looking at leaves, but the roots are just as important. I've seen plants that look fantastic above ground but had root zone issues that resulted in small buds. Maybe the growing medium stayed too wet, maybe the roots didn't have enough oxygen, maybe the container size restricted root development. The challenge is that root zone problems often don't show obvious symptoms until they've already affected growth. One of the best things you can do is focus on creating a healthy root environment from the start. Avoid overwatering. Sometimes that's easier said than done, right? Allow adequate drybacks between waterings when appropriate. I'm talking about when using synthetic nutrients that are bioavailable, not when growing organically. Use containers that promote healthy root development. Some people use those air pots, but I'm personally not a fan of those. Fabric pots do a great job with additional aeration compared to plastic pots, but with fabric pots, when the medium is drying out from all of the sides, you just have to be careful that it doesn't dry back too much. Again, this is growing with synthetic nutrients that are bioavailable, not when growing with organic inputs. If you're growing organically, focus on building a healthy soil ecosystem. The medium should stay moist at all times, but not oversaturated. If the medium dries out, then the microbes go dormant, and they're not working to break down those amendments to turn them into usable nutrients for the plant to uptake. Healthy roots lead to healthier plants, and healthier plants are much more likely to grow to their full potential. Number 3, environmental conditions. Another major factor is the environment. Temperature, humidity, and airflow all influence how efficiently plants grow. The mistake I often see growers focusing on is keeping their plants alive rather than optimizing the environment's conditions. A plant can look healthy across a pretty wide range of environmental conditions, but if temperatures are consistently too high, too low, or humidity isn't in an ideal range, growth can be limited without obvious warning signs. My recommendation is to start tracking your environment more closely. A good general temperature range for lights on, in my opinion, is 75 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 23 to 27 degrees Celsius. As for humidity, most growers talk about VPD days rather than relative humidity alone. Some good general VPD ranges are 0.8 kPa for seedlings, 1.0 kPa in veg, and 1.2 to 1.6 kPa in flowering. Use a temperature and humidity monitor. Review your daily highs and lows. Aim for airflow throughout the canopy. Many growers are surprised when they discover their environment isn't nearly as stable as they thought it was. Sometimes a few environmental adjustments can make a big difference versus changing nutrients or buying new equipment. If you're liking this video so far, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I've got a lot more videos like this coming up in the future. Number 4, genetics. This is one that people don't always want to hear. Sometimes the limiting factor is genetics. Not every plant has the same yield potential. Some varieties naturally produce larger buds than others. That's why it's so important to set realistic expectations. If maximizing yield is your goal, spend time researching genetics that have a proven track record for big yields. If you're evaluating a plant's growth rate, compare it to what that genetic line is known for rather than comparing it to every plant you see online. Sometimes the issue isn't that you're doing something wrong, sometimes you're simply already close to that plant's natural potential. Number 5, poor canopy management. This includes things like pruning, training, and creating an even canopy. I found that one of the easiest ways to improve yields is making sure light is distributed more evenly throughout the plant. When one section of the canopy dominates while areas remain shaded, you're not making full use of the available light. Techniques like topping, low-stress training, and strategic pruning can help create a more even canopy and improve light penetration. You need a plant that can efficiently use the light and space available to it. Oftentimes, simply improving the canopy structure, it can lead to better results versus simply trying to grow larger plants. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that nutrients didn't make this list. And that's because when growers have healthy looking plants but disappointing yields, nutrients usually aren't the main issue. Plus, many of you are now using stashed nutrients, which makes things a lot easier when it comes to providing the plant with the nutrition it needs. More often than not, the answer comes down to light, roots, environment, genetics, or canopy management. Have you ever had a plant that looked healthy but produced a low yield? If so, what ended up being the problem? Let me know down in the comments section below. Also, if you're not already on my email list, scan this QR code right here. That's where I announce special releases that you won't hear about anywhere else. And if you want to keep improving your grows, check out this playlist here because I cover a lot more problems that may be holding your plants back. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.